to show you how retarded some of these white folks are. They'll run around here talking about black people making AI videos of black women talking about what they getting on welfare and food stamps and SNAP, not knowing that it's more white people on the shit than we are. Never cease to amaze me the ignorance of these white supremacist minded motherfuckers. Because we all know a lot of these motherfuckers are not informed about shit. Even though they literally have all the technology to find out knowledge at their fingertips. Nah, they're gonna listen to motherfuckers and tell them, most all the niggas on welfare, black people on welfare, they're lazy and shit like that. Even though white people, they gotta hire illegal migrants to do all the labor because they don't want to get their old how my ex-wife used to call them unseasoned, unmelanated, unseasoned sun dodgers. Shit, they don't want to get their ass out there and work. They ain't gonna do it. Cause we all know white people are not, the sun will obliterate their ass. The sun will obliterate their ass. It's the reason why we have melanin. For all you white supremacists and white-minded supremacist people, this is where melanin comes in. Melanin protects us from the ultraviolet rays of the sun for all you stupids. For people that live in what you call the equatorial tropical area, regions of this planet, it makes sense for them to have darker skin and bigger nostrils so they can breathe the heavy air in that region. Whereas y'all live in primarily the north, and it's not, due to the fact y'all live in the north, y'all didn't need those features. It's basically just say God turning out the switch for each line of humanity to come off their manufacturing line. He said they don't need that because they living up there in Europe. They don't need to have no C4 hair and all that because they living in Europe. Well, some of them live down there near the Middle East, so we'll leave them with some of them features. Some of them features, since they still near areas that's equatorial, like, the deserts of the Middle East going down to the savannas, down into equatorial tropical areas. So this is why we have melanin and different features to protect us from the different environments on this planet. It don't got nothing to do with people having low IQ because they this and that. Everybody is capable of the same intellectual creativity that white people are. It's just that white people want to make this narrative that somehow, due to their whiteness, they're superior. And they had to come up with this notion because they found out as they travel around the world from the Americas, from the Pacific to the islands of Indonesia, Micronesia, they was running into all these black people, all these people that look black, like Polynesians, Australian Aborigines, Southern Indians. They were running into all these melanated people. And when they got back to Europe, they found out that globally they was a minority and they were surrounded by black and brown people. That's what they found out. They were surrounded by people that were yellow, brown, black, and some people damn near to the point they so black like Nilotic people that they blue. But they were surrounded by people of color globally, and they felt a certain kind of way about that. They felt that, well, since we white, we should be able to dominate over all these other people of color. This is the white supremacist mindset. They felt that they should dominate over everybody. That if they could take the religious doctrine that came out of ancient Kemet, the Immaculate Conception is not new. It came out of Egypt. That's why I be trying to tell you dumbass niggas to go to church every Sunday, whether you FBA, African and Caribbean. I be trying to tell y'all dumb niggas this shit. That y'all religious systems come out of ancient Kemet. Moses was the Pharaoh Akhenaten, but they ain't gonna tell y'all that. That's who Moses was, the Pharaoh Akhenaten. Yeah. The Ten Commandments came from the stone, the true stone that Akhenaten writ. That's where your little hat people got the Ten Commandments. They never existed. The whole idea of the kingdom of Judea and Israel was a fabrication. So everything y'all believe in the Bible, whether you read the Old Testament and the New Testament, is plagiarized dogma. That's why I don't practice Christianity, Islam, or Hebrewism, or technically Judaism. I don't practice it because it's all plagiarized off ancient Kemet. White people, I don't give a fuck. White people has always plagiarized their shit, our creations, and then turn around and say, we invented them. Shit, they did it in the 20th century. All the inventions that black people invented here in the United States that they wouldn't let us get a patent for. So the white people stole them and say, well, we invented them. On to find out, you got to find out the real inventors. When you find out the real inventors, then you would be like, damn, blown away to find out that there's so many damn black inventors that were in the United States. It's mind blowing. Because they got to lie about history. White folks got to lie about history. Because the idea of you doing great, it bothers them. It's like they destroyed the great city of Benin. The British came in and seen this beautiful laid out structural city that it was one of the greatest wonders of the one of the greatest wonders, the city of Benin. And white people, white British, when they seen that it blowed their mind when they came into the walls of Benin that could wrap around the United States 5 times. It blew their mind to see this African city with not only plumbing, but sewage. They had plumbing. They had plumbing and all that shit in their houses. When plumbing shouldn't exist, plumbing wouldn't exist until the early 1900s or into the 20th century. Plumbing wouldn't exist. During that time, during medieval, because we already know these white people always like to think Europe was like England and shit was like King's Landing. and European civilization was like Riverdale and Lord of the Rings and shit. They always picture themselves in these beautiful European cities that didn't even exist. You had them living in fortresses that were made out of brick or wood pipes and shit. Like, cause you gotta keep in mind, the Roman Empire ruled Britannia, as they call it, Britannia. That's why British got its name from the Romans. The Romans called it the province of Britannia. So the Romans basically built a lot of the structures that you see in England, including Hadrian's Wall. They built Hadrian's Wall. They built Hadrian's Wall to keep the Celts out, because the Celts, what you call the Picts, kept on trying to invade the Roman Empire. The Picts, the Celts, or the Celtic people, your Scottish and Irish people, your Celts. But y'all think niggas don't know this kind of history, so about how white people used to live, how white people in England and France, they didn't have sewage. So you know what the motherfuckers did in medieval times? They just threw their piss of shit out on the ground. They threw their piss of shit on the ground, so much for white folks being the most inventive motherfuckers ever. They didn't even used to take baths. For that little biracial chick that up there was talking shit about black people, them white folks didn't even used to like to wash their ass, bitch. They didn't even used to wash their ass. We had to teach white people how to wash their ass because they didn't know how to wash their ass. Some of them still don't. You had a couple days ago where a white dude and a white chick asked black people how they should wash themselves. How the fuck you don't know how to wash your ass? We had to show them how to wash their ass properly. You had a biracial chick, a little fat biracial chick, who divorced her white husband, all because this nigga was just nasty. He was nasty as fuck. This nigga was shit on the toilet and go take a shower in the toilet without wiping his ass. Because in his mind, he thought, well, I'm going to wash it all off anyway in a shower. Niggas, nobody want to be sitting in your goddamn remnant shit stains in the goddamn shower. And that disgusted that biracial chick to the point. She said, nope. I gotta leave this motherfucker because he just too trifling. He too trifling. And how I know she was right? Because I dated white chicks that would do that shit. That would take a shit and hop their ass in the shower. Like, I ain't even straight up have sex. That's why I got turned off. Nothing physically, not that I have anything against white chicks. But I dated one white chick, didn't even have sex with her. I dated her one time and seen her do that shit. Take a shit in the toilet. I'm up there in the living room. You know, my first date with a white chick. And she said, I'm going to get in the shower right quick. She got on the toilet, shit it, didn't wipe her ass. I said, did you wipe your bottom? She's like, no, I walked out. And she called me and asked me, why you just leave? I said, because you nasty. Nothing against you, but you nasty. She like, how? I said, you got in the shower without wiping your ass after you took a shit. You got shit on your ass. And she thought, well, I'm going to take a shower. I'm just going to wash it off. I like, it don't make no difference. You still wipe your ass. It's shower etiquette. It's shower etiquette. It see, like when you take a shower, for instance, most processes when you take a shower, this is what I do. I don't know if everybody else do this shit, but this is what I do. I take 3 showers a day, especially in the summer. In the summertime, I take 3. Wintertime, I take 2. The reason why what I do, my process of taking a shower goes like this. First of all, when I get in the shower, if I use the bathroom, I wipe my bum. I wipe my behind. I use wipes. I don't use no toilet paper. I don't use that. I use motherfucking wipes. So once I wipe my behind thoroughly, make sure I'm clean down there, I hop my ass in the shower. I rinse my body off. Hot water. I don't lather myself down. I rinse myself off first. What? I rinse myself off. Then I get the soap, put it on a sponge, loofah, whatever you got me, body towel. A face towel. I put a body towel or face towel, lather that motherfucker up, full of soap. Just scrub my body, all over my body. Just scrub it, all over. Then, after I scrub my body with the soap, I hit my hot spots. I rinse off. Then I do it again. Hot towel with the soap, but not that much soap. Just a little bit, because I already got soap in the rag. So I just take the rag, wash myself down, same thing, rinse. Once I feel that I'm clean, then that's when I get out the shower, dry off, and that's how we do shit. Now, I ain't saying that all black people operate like that, but that's what I was taught by my mom and my dad. And I figured that's how that's how my grandmother and my granddad used to do. So I figure that's how black people operated intrinsically to the fact that's how we always did. Now, when I dated that white chick that one time, after I seen her did that, nothing against her because she's white. It's just the fact that I was disgusted by it. That's what killed me on dating white chicks. I don't got nothing against white chicks. I see some hot white chicks, but after that, nope. And if you are a black chick, you date a white dude. Because every time I talk to black chicks that in relationship with white dudes, they'll talk about how they find skeet marks or shit marks or damn near shit in their white dudes, underwear. And the black chick said that. She said, I don't know why white guys don't wipe their ass good. I looked at her, I said, well, that's something you gotta deal with, because you don't want to date white men. She said, why can't white men just do that, wipe their ass good? I said, because they don't. Yeah, I said, you dealing with a people that don't believe in that shit. You dealing with a group of men that didn't like to wash their ass in Europe. So that's the end result. They still don't like to wipe their ass. Even the most high value white guys don't like to wash their ass. But you all will say black men are broke and dusty. At least we like to wash our ass.